K-Rino Radio. Ha. K-Rino Radio. Ha. Ha. Let's tell them about it. You're listening to K-Rino Radio on 90.1. Who is he? What is he? What does he do? Where is he from? H-Town, where the independent grind was invented. Understand, I'm the property owner, you just a tenant. KPFT is the station and location for the really special guests. Good knowledge and information for the coldest on the air. We making a strong case. If you scared of the truth, then you in the wrong place. Every Friday, 11 o'clock p.m. Central. We cooking the game, serving it up, feeding your mental. You can even call in, dial 713, backdoor it with 526 KPFT. We ain't playing with them, we gon' tell it like it is, partner. Out of town, KPFT.org, yeah, we got ya. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. Yeah, we got ya. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. In the conversation, the number is 713-526-KPFT. 713-526-KPFT if you want to call in, because the topic tonight is called the difference between winning and losing in life. Winning and losing, and the gap between winning and losing in most cases is usually not that wide. Usually it's a thin margin between something you set out to do and you are successful at it compared to not being successful. There may be one or two things that you didn't do, or one or two mistakes that you did make that contributed to you not winning or being successful at getting that job done. Or it may be something that you could have done better, or that you barely did, that you did do, that allowed you to be successful. But before we get into it, we want to just first mention all of our social media info. If y'all want to reach me at any time, you can always catch me on Twitter at The Real K-Rino, and anything on Facebook. You know, that's I got like 2 or 3 pages, so basically you can reach me anywhere on social media. Murder, go ahead and give them your info.
Yeah, my Twitter is Murder1SPC86. Instagram is Murder1SPC86. And Facebook is M1, that's MONE SPC Thomas.
Okay, Black Cat, you go ahead and break it on down, brother.
Yeah, my Instagram and my Facebook is full. So my Instagram is South Park Black Cat, spelled with 2 T's at the end, man. You can get me.
Okay, and Kerm, don't let them know where they can find you at, brother.
Okay, we got the No Regret Media page. It's going to be anything No Regret Media. So Instagram, Facebook, all that. The website is noregretmedia.com. And my personal, man, is just Keisto, Keesto on Instagram.
No doubt, no
Okay.
doubt. Go ahead.
You know, I always have a little update on Wash.
Yeah.
But this time I have 2. I got an update on Wash. Wash out there riding bikes right now.
I saw him. I saw him online. I was happy, then I got kind of mad at the same time, because I was like, man, don't go too fast.
Right.
You know, but I was glad to see him because he was up cooking, and I cracked a joke on him. I said, better not be no pork in that skillet.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So
and the other one, you know, praying for ESG. You know, he been through I think it was a car wreck or something where he ended up with blood clots. Almost killed him.
No doubt. I saw that as well. So, man, that's good looking out, Murder. Definitely want to send well wishes to Wash and to the OG, the legend ESG, man, for speedy recovery for both of those brothers, because, you know, that you talking about, you know, good brothers and pillars of this community and this hip-hop game. And, you know, where would this city be without ESG? You know, and shout out to the Sunday in Houston movie that's getting ready to come out this month. We're going to try to get ESG on before the movie drops, too. The movie drops June the 27th, and we definitely want to try to get ESG on the show to help push the movie, without a doubt, because they're doing things that that a lot of people in the city are not doing. You know, a lot of people making rap records, a lot of people doing music, but not many of us are stepping out and getting into film and other areas like that. So shout out to Wash and ESG. Before we get into it, man, we got a couple of little current news things we want to cover, man, real quick. The NFL, if y'all have not been paying attention, they came out with a national anthem policy. And just to show how, hypocritical that whole thing is, and how hypocritical they are and the owners are, they've made a rule now where you're required to stand, whether you be a player, whether you be on coaching staff, whatever, the trainers, everybody is required to stand for the national anthem, but you can stay in the locker room if you choose to stay in the locker room if you don't want to be visible standing on the field, or they just don't want you kneeling on the field. That's the rule that they came up with, but that rule is very contradictory to the Constitution of the United States, which supposedly allows the freedom to protest, the freedom to do just that. But the NFL being who they are, and these owners being who they are, they want to protect their bottom line and their business interests. And so with that being said, they have initiated this policy that definitely disregards and disrespects the very reason why the players were protesting, kneeling in protest in the first place, which was to fight against or bring attention to police brutality and injustice against black people in this country. So once again, we're going to give a serious bomb, thumbs down bomb on the NFL for trying to pull that crap. And it was all really just Trump put the key in their back, basically. President Trump put the key in their back when he changed the narrative of what the protest was about in the very beginning and made it be about the flag and disrespect of the flag, when in reality it had nothing to do with that. And these are things that we've covered and spoke on before, but we just wanted to bring light to it in the wake of this new news and this new policy that has restricted the players. But shout out to Malcolm Jenkins, man, of the Eagles, because he came out this week and made a strong statement when he had his signs up. He didn't say a word, but he held up signs and dealt with the media through those signs and basically told them, look, y'all are not listening. Y'all are asking all these dumb questions about things that are irrelevant to why we're taking this stance in the first place. And he said that the owners are trying to thwart the players' constitutional right to use that platform in order to bring attention to the injustices that are carried out against black people, where we just getting shot down in the street for no reason. And then the commissioner of the NFL came out, Roger Goodell came out and said that the NFL was dedicated to continuing their collaboration with players to advance the goals of justice and fairness. But first of all, when you use the word continuing, that means that y'all was doing it in the first place, which they wasn't. And collaborating with players is a lie too, because no players were involved in the institution of this new policy. So it's all hypocritical, and it's all to protect the money. And that's why we need to just, as a group, at some point be like, you know what, man, we out of here. We ain't playing for none of these teams, and we ain't worried about it, because you holler about patriotism, but when real patriotism is displayed in front of you, you call it something else. So that is. But I just wanted to get that in real quick before we go into our topic, man. When we talking about winning and losing in life, man, and there are a lot of things that make that up. If you're speaking about your career, some people decide, hey man, I want to do this in my life. I want to have this particular career. I want to set out to do this or do that. And then you go on that journey. You begin that journey in an attempt to bring your goal to fruition. And sometimes you're going to hit some road bumps. Sometimes you may not get that job. You may not be able to make that particular team that you're trying to make. It's just all types of things that can come along and get in your way, all kind of roadblocks that can get in your way that prevent you from accomplishing a particular goal. But the point we're trying to make in the beginning is that never let the first time that you might not succeed in reaching that goal, don't let that be something that causes you to give up. And we're not sitting here thinking that we have all the answers. We're not claiming to have all the answers. We just laying this out for the purpose of discussion and to possibly assist somebody in their self-esteem when they may be going through a situation. Because sometimes, man, them hard hits can come in bunches. They don't always come like one time, and then you may not succeed that first time, and then you hit it the next time. Man, you may have 4 or 5 bad spots in a row where you try to do something that just didn't work out 4 or 5 times in a row, and then you start to lose your confidence and you start to feel like this plan is not working or it's not meant for me to do that. So we want to touch on that, man. And if there's any stories that somebody may want to share, anybody that calls in and wants to share any stories about that, then they're more than welcome to do that. You can call in at 713-526-KPFT, as well as, you know, all my brothers on the panel. You know, they may have a story about winning and losing that they may want to share. Do we have a call? Okay, well, we'll get right into it. Before I take the call, I want to make sure that everybody knows and that the caller knows that what we're talking about tonight is the difference between winning and losing in life, and the things that it takes in order to win, and how to bounce back from losses, and how to actually handle winning. So if the caller's on the line, we ready for him right now. Let's get him in there. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Who am I speaking to?
It's Scutch 28.
What's going on, Scutch 28? Hey, look, I'm going to tell y'all don't know who this is. Murder One don't even know who this is, see? I'm the only one who know who Scutch 28 is, you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, I don't know.
Oh, you know. But, okay, keep talking, and then you'll know who it is. Go ahead, Scutch, keep talking.
I know Murder One know who I am.
Oh, that's Tech.
The great Texas Tech is in the building. Well, he ain't in the building, but he's on the line. South Park Coalition, man. Hey, Tech, man. First of all, man, I appreciate you calling, homie, man. You know, you our brother, so it ain't nothing but love, man. We talking about the difference between winning and losing in life, man. And if you got anything to add to that, you know, you more than welcome to bring to the discussion.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man, I'm just glad to catch you this Friday, man, because I know you hit me with them texts every now and then, you know what I'm saying? And, man, I really be forgetting, because I be, like, right now I'm at the job, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, I always try to, you know, get a chance to step out, but I be forgetting, and it be too late then. But anyway, man, yeah, man, you already know about winning and losing, man. It's just all about, you know, because to me, man, I believe in effort. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you get that effort, man, people try to lean on God a lot. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when somebody gonna let God lean on them? You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, you got trials and tribulations in life, you know, and the thing is, you know, if you can't get no effort for yourself, then what you looking for God to help you for?
Well, you know, it's a saying that say God help those who help themselves. And
right.
It's funny that you use the word effort, because that's one of the words I got wrote down in my notes right in front of me. And to me, that point is the major point. It's about giving that effort. It's about having that push to try. All the effort is just a hard try. And some people lose their motivation if things don't work out that first time. You know,
right.
so man, that's a great point. You got anything else you want to add to it?
Man, it's just, you know, my thing is, man, you can never, you know, things can be going wrong so much to the point where the focus comes off of your goal. You then start focusing on, why is this happening to me? And man, it's so hard. And man, is this? Your mind just got to be fixed on getting that goal. It don't matter how many times you fail. It's all about striving. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you don't put in that work, it ain't gonna never pay off.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you, man, look, we gonna get them up, Tech. You know, 'cause you know you family, you my brother, man. You need to come sit in with us one Friday when you ain't got to work or whatever. But man, we appreciate the phone call, and you know I'm gonna be getting them up with you ASAP, my brother. And I thank you for the contribution to the show, man, because you hit on a lot of great points as usual, man.
Oh yeah, man, y'all be cool, man, and I'll holler at you in a little bit, boy.
Okay, and it was short.
What's that?
And it was short.
Oh man, hey, look, it's crazy, because when he said effort, I look right at my paper, and that basically answered the question, even though we only 15 minutes into the show. The difference between winning and losing a lot of times is the effort.
Right.
Because no matter what you're doing, I equate a lot of stuff to sports. And sometimes talent don't always win for you. Sometimes it's about who hustles the hardest, who tries the hardest, who puts in the most work, who practices the most and gives the hardest effort, and you can edge out or beat a team with more talent when you just prove that you want it more. And another thing I want to kind of go into in terms of winning and losing, one of the key components is having the belief in yourself that you can actually do it. You have to believe that you can actually do it. The first step is everything have to start with a prayer and a plan. When you figure out what it is you want to do and what it is you want to be and what you're trying to accomplish, you pray on it, ask God to guide you to that goal, to the reaching of that goal, and then you start laying out your plan, and then you start executing that plan for your vision to bring it to life. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to know that this is something that you can do, and that no matter what's said or what's done or what obstacles you might come across, at some point I'm gonna get this done. And it doesn't always happen overnight, but if you stay persistent with it, then eventually it can come to pass. So we're talking about the difference between winning and losing in life, man. And once again, if you want to join in the 713-526-KPFT, that's the number, man. We love to hear from y'all, man. Go ahead. And one of the things that I want to kind of touch on is people's ability or inability to take criticism when they're trying to work their way up to their goal. And I equate it to my career in music, and in what we do as artists. A lot of the things that we do, we put ourselves on the line every day, because when you put your music up online and YouTube and you put records out, you lay yourself out in front of the world for the whole world to say that it's good, bad, or that it's trash or whatever it is. And you have to be able to absorb and take the constructive criticism as well as the destructive criticism, the negative sides of it. And what does that do for you in terms of building your character up? Because it's easy to take compliments. It's easy when people are telling you how good and how great you are, and man, you this, you that, and that's in any field. But how do you deal with it when people start saying, well, nah, man, I ain't feeling that, or it's trash, you could have did better, or how do you deal with it in that situation? Or if you're in a workplace and somebody say, okay, yeah, you doing all right, but this person's performance is better than yours, and you was getting down, busting your butt, going as hard as you can. How do you deal with that, knowing that you doing the best you can? So criticism, constructive or negative criticism, are some of the things and the elements that you have to deal with in terms of getting to that goal and being a winner. We got another call? All right, let's go and get the other call in. Caller, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
What's up, K? It's that boy Sin, man.
What's up, Sin? How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm doing good, blessed, man. Just calling in, checking in with you, man. I wanted to hit the show up, man.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you calling in and rocking with us tonight, man.
You know, I've been rocking with K forever and a day, man.
Man, I know, I already know that, man. We've been down for the longest, man. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to everybody that's rolling with you, man. We talking about the difference between winning and losing in life. Do you have anything that you could share with us that can kind of maybe help somebody on that level, man, that may be going through those struggles or trying to find their way and figure out how to reach that goal?
Yes, man. My personal belief is if you don't try, you will not either win or lose without trying, So you have to get out there and put your neck on the line in order to win, and sacrifice in order to win, and take the L at the same time if you have to,
Right.
I just feel that in any aspect of regular job, a street job, whatever it is, man, you're gonna have to go beyond and above of what you have to do in order to succeed,
Right. But I'm gonna tell you something that you just said that struck me. You said put your neck on the line, and you have to have that kind of spirit and that kind of mentality. They say no risk, no reward.
Yeah,
Everybody have heard that statement. That's basically what that means when you say put your neck on the line, because you are putting yourself out there to be judged, criticized, and to possibly fail before the whole world. And if you happen to miss the mark on that particular time, then you have, unfortunately, you got people in the world that want to see that happen. They want to see you.
Oh yes, no doubt.
Miss out. They want to see you lose.
I would take the fail without, at least I tried.
Right.
You can't fail unless you try.
And let me ask you this also too, real quick, because again, you're hitting on some great points. When you said you'll take the L, but at least you tried.
Yes.
What about telling people what they can learn from taking the L in order to turn that L into a W?
Okay, when you take the L, you already know what you've done in order to take that L, so that's why you have the next opportunity. When it flashes in your face, you know what to do. What you did last time didn't work, you know what to switch up now.
Right, absolutely, man. Great knowledge, man, from the homie saying. Thank you for calling in, man.
Yes, sir, Kay.
I appreciate you, and you're welcome to call the show anytime, brother, and thank you for what you brought to the table. Man. No doubt, man. One love, fam.
One love, Kay.
He said putting your neck on the line. That stood out to me, but he also used another word. He said sacrifice. And in order to accomplish and get to where you want to get in life, you got to sacrifice. You got to give something up.
Everything is sacrifice. It's putting energy in anything you're trying to achieve. You got to put some type of sacrifice to it.
And one aspect of sacrifice is coming out of your comfort zone.
Most definitely.
Because you have situations where we wanna get there. We want to get to the prize, but if somebody say, okay, well, you got to do this, and I don't mean nothing like from selling out. I mean like us making a sacrifice, a beneficial sacrifice that can help you get to that goal. And somebody might say, well, nah, man, I ain't gonna do that. You might have to work a few extra hours.
Right.
You might have to grind a little harder. Right. You might have to stay a little longer.
Yeah.
All of these things are sacrifice. You may have to spend a little of your own money at times to get to those points, and a lot of people are not willing to do that. And then when the goal is not accomplished, they scratching their head like, why didn't this work?
That's that peanut in the shell.
You got to figure that out, man.
I heard one thing he said also when he was saying, don't be afraid to fail. Because a lot of times you can learn through your failures. You learn what the right things to do and how you could triumph through that.
Right. You know what I call that? That's the I use a video game analogy when I think about that. Back when you play certain video games, most video games have levels.
Yeah.
And you got to reach so many levels to get to the end. Like if you was playing back in the days, like when I played Mario 3, you had to go all these levels, and then you got to finally get to that ending part. But you lose so many times, you get killed so many times trying to get, and you got to start all the way over. Yeah. But as the times that you lost, the things you did to lose your life on that particular level, when you get back, you're more familiar with it.
Yeah.
And you can deal with it and maneuver with it, and sooner or later you break through till you finally reach that goal and you beat the game. Then when you beat the game, guess what? Then you lose interest in it.
Like King Cooper, when you running, you jumping on everybody's heads. That's how you kill everybody normally. But you jump on his head, you die.
You out of there. Yeah, he got little spikes or something on him. Yeah, and that's the thing. But you don't know that before you get to that level. So it's levels and it's steps of accomplishment that you have to go through, and along them steps, it's going to be times where you slip and you don't make it, and you have to go back to the drawing board and start over. But your willingness to start over is only based on how bad you want it. Because some people that get to that point, they fall off a couple of times. It's like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm done. I quit. I ain't doing it no more. But you be right there, and you could be right there at the door without even knowing it, right at the time that you quit. So again, we talking about winning and losing in life. What's the difference, man? There's a fine line between winning and losing in life. If you want to join in, once again, the number 713-526-KPFT. We live in the building, man, on K-Rino Radio, and we putting it down, man, for sure, for sure. Black Cat, you've been awfully quiet over there tonight, man. You know, that's kind of unusual, man. I mean, I know you got something that you want to bring to the tonight.
The cat working tonight, man.
Hey.
Yeah, he the one holding it down on the phone lines for y'all,
you know, holding it down on the phones tonight, man. But people's success is different. You know what I mean? It's like, some people have just normal success stories, like just family and, and children and just, being comfortable in life, and then, it all depends on, that person's success, what they consider success to be.
Man, and that's another great point, because everybody's definition of winning is not the same.
And it shouldn't be.
You have the millionaires that say, hey man, I'm winning. But then, like Black Cat said, you have people that just live a simple life, regular house, regular car, and they happy. They good. They don't even aspire to have all the flashy material things, and they feel like it's a win. They feel like, then you have people that have a lot of material things, money and all this, and they still not satisfied, because they chasing something else. They chasing somebody else instead of, finding that happiness inside themselves. So that's another great point. It's a lot of good ways, different ways to look at that, man. So it is what it is. Winning and losing, man. Winning and losing. If you watch a basketball game, and I ain't really in the mood to talk about basketball too much these days, man, because y'all probably, everybody just saw that sweep that just happened, and I still feel like that's supposed to be the Rockets championship right now. But to use a basketball analogy, if you have a game that you lose and a team loses by 2 points, big game, whatever, team loses by 2 points, you look at the score and say, okay, they lost by 2 points. But if you go into the game itself, you'll be able to find maybe 5 or 10 different reasons why that team lost by those 2 points. They might have missed 5 or 6 free throws throughout the course of the game. It's like, okay, that's the game right there. They might have had 15 turnovers throughout the game. That's the game right there. And so you can look at so many elements that could be a factor in why that team lost, but they still lost by a small margin. So that's why this topic is saying the difference between winning and losing, like, because in a lot of times, man, it's a small margin. It's not anything big. You could barely zig when you should have zagged, just barely. You say, man, if I'd have just not went to the park that day, I wouldn't have got arrested, or whatever the case might have been. If I would have just did this particular thing and hung around here, I'd have got that phone call and made that money that I was hoping that I was going to make, but I left and I missed the call and I missed the money. It's all kinds of little things that go barely to the left or barely to the right that can determine whether you win or you lose. And some things are in our control, some things are not in our control, but we got to keep on going. We got another call on the line. Okay, all right. Let's go to another call. We'll tell you. We gonna let the people drive us tonight.
I like that.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Caller, what's good? Who am I talking to?
Hey, you're talking to Black. What's up, K-Rino?
How you doing, my brother?
All right. This Black from Opelousas, man. I listen to you all the time. You Murder One.
Black, my brother, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. You know it ain't nothing but love, man. Opelousas, Louisiana, in the building, man.
Most definitely. I love that buffet out there too.
yeah. We did that show. Hey,
that's where my father's from, man.
Well, you know what? I can't lie to you. I really didn't like Murder One loved it.
I loved it.
But see, my problem, Black, is that it's a lot of foods I don't eat. I don't eat meat and all that, so the selection was kind of small for me. But Murder was.
I took care of it before.
Murder was in heaven, man. Yeah. But it's all good. But go ahead, Black. Tell us what's on your mind.
Well, I see the conversation is about winning and losing.
Right.
I think most people don't know the difference between winning and losing.
Mm-hmm.
just because you probably took a loss, that don't mean you necessarily lost. It just means that God just sent you in a different direction.
Right. Right. And it's a learning process. And it's a learning process. Losing, that's learning and losing.
Yeah. And it's stepping stones, you know?
Right. I mean, I look at it as a point in my life where I end up losing my job where I was working 14 days on and 14 days off. Well, yeah, that was a losing process for me, but I actually gained a whole lot by losing my job. I got to spend more time with my family.
Yeah, the blessings that come along with that.
Exactly. So I did not actually lose. I won.
And you know what?
My family.
Man, and that's a great point, because sometimes we be so focused on what it is we trying to get that when we don't get it, we view it as a loss and not look at, well, what did I gain from not necessarily being in that particular situation. But we be so in our emotions about the fact that, man, this is what I really wanted. And you can't see the blessing that's right in front of you sometimes, man.
Everything that you could be giving up to accomplish what you want to get.
Right. And you know, and you hear that all the time. You hear that from millionaires and businessmen and athletes who talk about the success they've had, material success, but then they say, my regrets was I didn't get a chance to see my kids grow up.
Yes,
you know, I missed the graduations. I missed the first steps the baby took and all these different things. So that's a great point, and the way you lay that out is a way to look at it that we hadn't even considered, bro. So I appreciate that call, Black, and again, you're welcome to call in anytime, my brother, and we thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Love y'all. What y'all do, man.
All right. Thanks for the love. We got another call on the line. Who we got? It's Joe.
Oh, they coming in today.
Without a doubt.
Hello?
What's going on?
Hey, K-Rino, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing, but it's all about you, man. Tell us what's on your mind.
What's going on, man? This is Lil Joseph, man. You're talking about winning and losing?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Man, for the longest time, I thought I was a loser, man. I was locked up in a 6x9 for almost 7 years of my life, man.
Wow.
And for the longest time, man, I thought I was a loser, man. But there's a quote, man. One said, one must learn how to fail and still win anyways.
Right.
So I took that, man, and, you know, I work up here with the prison show and all that.
Right.
And I'm a big reformist, too, so I share my story, what I view as a failure.
Right. Do we lose him? Okay, well, he's in the building, man. So, you know, hey, but I got the gist of it, the gist of where he was going with that. Now, you talk about an individual who was locked up, he said, for 7 years of his life, you know, and we all got loved ones and family members that are in that position right now. I could definitely say that for myself. But in those situations, I can only imagine you feel like, man, I'm stuck. This is it, you know, because there's a whole world going on outside of that around you, and you don't have the ability to go and access it because you're stuck. You have to get up when somebody tell you get up, go to sleep, eat when they tell you to eat, and all these different things, you know, and it's basically another form of slavery. And so to have the willpower to live through that situation, number one, but then after living through that situation, to still, just like he said, he got a job now, he's working now, he actually is back on a vertical plane, you know, because when you're doing bad, that's a horizontal, you flat on your back, but now he's on a vertical plane making things happen for himself, man. And so that's a testament to your own willpower and to your own character and to your own belief in yourself, to not give up just because you took that L, and learn from that L, and don't put yourself in the same position. So we appreciate that call, Joe.
It's commendable when he said he's giving back and working at the prison again.
And it's a circle. He came full circle in his journey from being the person that was in the situation now to being a person who helps others that are in a situation and could possibly be somebody that can assist people once they get out of the situation. So
that's how you do it, right?
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it, man. Rather than than don't learn and get caught up and go right back. Like a lot of people get out and then, what happened, man? Where Johnny at? I made that boy back in there.
Right back.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's great information, man, and we appreciate that love, Joe. It's all good. We talking about the difference between winning and losing. I want to put a question out that the crew can kind of answer, you know, and we probably have touched on it just a little bit along the way with some of the callers, but what role does losing actually play in eventually winning, and vice versa? What role can winning play in eventually losing? And I guess I'll start it off from the back end and say people have already spoke on the fact that losing can be a learning process. And Michael Jordan made a quote. He said, I failed so many times in my life, that's why I succeed. Because he was motivated by his failures. He was motivated by the mistakes that he made, and it made him a winner eventually. But
he never gave up, man.
That flip side, though, the flip side is that if your character is not in line, then winning can actually lead you to losing at some point, because you become intoxicated with the success of, I'm winning, I'm on top, I'm on top, I'm on top. And then the first time you hit a road bump or a setback, you're not able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or that winning just becomes so it turns into a negative for you because it makes you arrogant. It makes you big-headed. That's why when you read the scripture that says it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to make it into heaven. And that don't mean that a camel is going to literally pass through the eye of a needle.
Yeah.
It just means that the character of some of these rich people is so out of order that they're so gone to the farthest extreme that from a figurative standpoint, it would be easier for a camel to pass through the eye, because this guy is so hard-hearted and arrogant that he don't see nothing but himself.
Allegorical statement, right there.
Yeah, he don't see nothing but himself, man. So, you know, that's if y'all got anything to add to that, you know.
But also, if you got those who have been maybe born into success or never, you know what I'm saying, knew about being down, I guess, on the bottom, we can say, and they would feel that they would never, you know, be poor or never, you know, lose. And, you know, they having this in their mind frame that they're just going to continue to win and not know how to deal with the losses. Right. And I think that's how some people get into suicides and, you know what I'm saying, things like that.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. That's a great point, because a lot of people can't handle it. And then we look at it as people that grew up in the hood. We looking like, man, this dude killed himself. He was worth $28 million and he took himself out. We can't grasp it because, like Black Cat said, if you had money all your life, money is nothing to you. It's not something that you're excited about. It's not something that you are in awe of. So we say, well, man, how could he do that? Because that money don't guarantee happiness. It didn't secure his happiness and his peace of mind, which led to that individual taking themselves out, or being you take yourself out intentionally, but some people commit suicide over a period of time. Slow death. They start living a self-destructive lifestyle, and then over time you just see them start to deteriorate, whether it be drugs, whether it be just fast living, whatever the case may be. And then it takes years sometimes for that person to just eventually just fall off, man. So all great points again, man. 713-526-KPFT is the number if y'all want to join in on the conversation. I think we got one lined up right now. Let's get him on right now. Caller, what's up? Can you hear me?
What's up, Reno? This your boy G, man, the one that gave you the shirt, man.
What up, G? My guy, man. Look, I showed up at the spot, and all I saw was a Annihilation of the Evil Machine shirt, and it wasn't a printout. It was actually hand painted. and look just like the album cover, man. So, man, you know, I really appreciate that, G. We not gonna waste no time, man. You got anything on your mind you want to add to the conversation?
Yes, sir, man. As far as the winning thing go, man, you know, a person can win so long to where they become complacent, man, and they just get lazy. They just start dropping whatever, expecting the people to buy it. That's why we rock with you and the SBC, because y'all gonna drop fire every time. You did.
Wow, man. Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. Winning making you become complacent. You get so caught that you expect to win, and you lose the work ethic that got you there in the first place. And
gotta stay hungry, stay motivated.
Gotta stay hungry and gotta stay motivated, and that's in anything. G equated it to music, which is a great analogy, but it actually applies to any form, anything in life, because anything in life that you are doing that you're successful at is somebody always coming up in the wings that wants to take that spot or wants to get in that spot. And if you get comfortable while you're sitting in that spot, then you're going to go to sleep on the bed, but you're going to wake up on the floor. You know, you got anything else you want to bring to the table, G?
Man, you know, man, I'm just glad to be speaking with you, my brother.
Oh, man.
Already.
No, we glad to be speaking to you, man,
Definitely.
because this show is for the people, man. You know, when I agreed to do a radio show, I wasn't going to do nothing whack, man. If it's whack, I'm stepping out of it. So, you know, this is for y'all, man, and I thank y'all for taking y'all time, because y'all be doing something else, but y'all sitting here listening to your big brother. So call in anytime, G. I appreciate the love, man.
Yes, sir. One love, brother.
No doubt,
bro.
No doubt, man.
Already.
No doubt. Man, everybody is hitting so many great points, because, again, that's another aspect that I hadn't thought of, just the complacency that comes along when you have been kind of winning easy, when it becomes the norm. He said you have to stay hungry and you have to stay motivated. I want to kind of add something to that. Staying hungry and staying motivated when you losing too.
Yeah.
When things are not going good, and that's actually harder to do, because if you're losing and having setbacks, you don't see any benefits. At least when you're winning, you seeing the fruits. But when you're losing, how can you stay hungry and motivated when things is not going right? And the answer to that is that if you have faith and belief that one of these days, no matter what's going on, I'm going to come out on top.
Yep, it's going to get right one of these days.
The smoke is going to clear at some point, and I'm going to be on the other side of this, looking back at it and letting my problem, letting my issue be a testimony for somebody else.
That's your faith in your ability.
Without a doubt. But if you feeling like, man, ain't nothing, this not working out right, this is not going to ever happen for me, whatever it is, then you're going to be right. It's not going to happen for you. So you have to be motivated and hungry even in taking the losses, man, because you have to use that as fuel to the fire in order to get to where you're trying to get in your life, man. The difference between winning and losing, man, is usually a thin margin, y'all. It's usually a thin margin, and we just have to make sure that we can close those gaps, man. You gotta double down, man.
I got one for you, K.
What's up?
What about you come in losing and just don't even go in the state of mind of winning?
I mean, I think that depends on your environment, how you came in, man. Some people get dealt a bad hand out the gate. And some people are just like, man, I ain't never had a break in my life. It's from day one, it been messed up. And they feel as though they just destined to be in that hole, destined to be in that bad situation. Man, I must be cursed or something like that. And it takes other people who have either been through the things that they've been through and made it out to kind of tell them, hey, man, it seemed like this, but that's not how it's going to always be if you just keep your foot on the gas. Because, I mean, you have to understand a person's point of view if they have been dealt a bad. If a person who's never had any good breaks, man, and they tell you, man, you got to really understand it. I mean, I kind of see where you're coming from, if I was you, I probably would feel the same way. But if you people who like us, we came up, none of us can claim to have come up in bad homes and bad situations like that, but we still have had ups and downs. Then if you've never been where that person is at, you gotta sympathize with them to a degree and kind of encourage them to know, hey man, one of these days, man, if you just stay on it, man, you're gonna get out this situation.
Right. Yeah. So what would that do to the surrounding people other than
which people?
Meaning the ones he rode with, where they have the same mentality, or they'll try to break away from that losing mentality?
Well, this is the thing. Birds of a feather flock together, and you can become a product of your environment. See, that's why when you see those motivational speakers, you always, and even pastors and ministers, they would tell you that you have to surround yourself with the type of people that you trying to become. So if you just in an environment around negative people, around people who just have no positive spirit, that are always thinking the worst, then you'll eventually become that. You're going to become that at some point, because that's all that you are around. You know, it's like you are what you eat when you talk about physical food, but you are what you think, and you are what you take in mentally and spiritually too. So all that stuff that people are pouring into you, you can become that if you allow yourself to do it. So somebody got to be the one to grab the wheel and turn it around.
Because it'll be people that, it's just like what you just said, to piggyback off of that, it'll be people that have you thinking you're only losing, and you're only losing, that's the only reason why you constantly losing. But then you can have people around you can say it's just a perspective thing, that they say, hey, you've been down, so the only way you can go now is up. So you shouldn't even be worried about what you've been doing, because if you just try, now you can go, you can fly. So it's just like what Kay said, it's just who you got around you,
right,
and what they pumping into you.
And I got a song called Diamonds in the Trash Can.
Do you know?
And what that's talking about is how you have to really be careful with who you even share your visions and dreams and stuff with, because you have some people that are around you every day, but they really don't want to see you succeed. You know, and it's hard for us to believe that sometimes. We're like, well, man, nah, that's my boy, that's my cousin, or whatever. But they really, really, really don't want to see you make it. So you pour your hopes and dreams to them, and then they just douse it like, oh man,
you ain't gonna holes in your boat.
Yeah, no doubt. You wondering why the boat keeps sinking, and you turn around, they putting holes in the boat. Yeah. So you have to guard your spirit from those types of situations too, because everybody, I always think about it. I got a song called Out the Way. I say, just because you wear my uniform don't mean you on my team.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot of time. People can be in your circle all the time, but they don't necessarily want to see you be the one to succeed. I want to you want to add something to it from a female perspective, or you just chilling tonight? You just listening in
so
tonight?
Quiet.
Yeah. I'm chilling tonight.
Okay, she's gonna chill tonight. But but at the end of the day, the principles are the same. And when you start to, I can give you a perfect example.
Let's go.
Like we all know Icy Hot, but Icy Hot's older brother, Big D, the Undertaker. That's my homie. And Big D, when I stayed in Third Ward, I stayed on Roof Street, Big D used to come to the house all the time. And all that we would do is sit down and chop up business, like dreams and goals and ways we can advance. We was always talking about how to become successful. And when you bouncing that kind of energy off of each other, it's motivating. Even if we ain't got two nickels to rub together, it's a motivating factor just to be in a circle of people who are speaking positivity, whether it be financial, whether it be just social, whatever the case may be. You don't always want to be in a circle where everybody is just down and negative all the time. Yeah. Because that wears on your spirit. And after a while, you're like, well, maybe this is how life is. When in reality it's not. Yeah. When in reality it's not.
And those vision meetings y'all was having, those are critical. to actually achieving your vision, because you need to have that vision where you can sharpen your vision, and then now you know what you're running for.
Without a doubt, man, without a doubt. And you got to know that you're not by yourself. It's like, man, because you can have big dreams and things that you want. Man, I want to do this, but you saying it to yourself, but then somebody else comes along and is like on the same page as you, and it motivates you, and then y'all can actually collab and help each other. Yeah, help each other, reach those goals, man. So, anybody that's out there listening, man, I mean, look, you're not by yourself when things are going bad, when you hit them bumps in the road, man. I don't care if you took 10 straight L's. I always feel like that next one is going to be a win, I play ball all the time, man. If I miss 10 straight shots, I feel like that next one going in.
Yeah.
What that commercial said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Yeah. So you got to keep on fighting. The only way to score is to shoot. So you have to keep on staying motivated to win, man. And eventually, if you believe in it and you have the real talent to get it done, then you'll get it done.
And it's also your company. You know what I mean? It's like people that are. If you find a person that's sad or feeling down but listening to sad music, you're not gonna do nothing but just go down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to surround yourself with that positive energy. If you're feeling down, you get around those that give you positive energy. Right. Like when I'm feeling at my lowest, I'll go get around those that I think are just the most crunk. You know what I'm saying? And that's my word, most crunk, are my kids, because my kids are always like, at 1,000 all the time. Yeah. So when I'm really feeling down, I just get around them, and they're always crunk all the time, and it always picks me up, and I'm able to keep pushing.
You got to shift gears on your spirit. Yeah, no question.
Yeah, so you got to get around those that can help that.
Without a doubt, man. The difference between winning and losing in life, man. And we giving all these analogies, but we don't know what you're trying to do. You might be in college, man. You might be trying to get through medical school. You might be trying to get through law school. You may be trying to be an engineer. You may be trying to be a boxer. Whatever the field you're trying to get in, man, nothing that's worth having is going to be easy. So use the negative, embrace the hard parts of it. That's basically what I'm trying to say, because anytime that you're trying to accomplish something, you're going to reach what I like to refer to as the quitting point. You when you're working out so hard, man, you're sweating, you're about to throw up. You might have already threw up. You always come to that point, anything you're trying to do where it's like, man, forget this, I'm done. That's the quitting point. That's a wall. If you break through that wall, it's right when you say you want to quit and just say, nah, I'm going to keep going, and you break through that wall, you become so much stronger. That puts your level up another notch higher, because your character is now stronger now compared to if you would have accepted when you got to the quitting point and just quit. Your character would take a hit, because now you're going to be really, really weak, and it creates a pattern that if you start to get used to quitting every time it get hard, you're going to do it every single time from here on out. That's how it's going to be, man. Okay, we got one more caller. We get one more in before the show is over with. Let's get it in. Caller, what's going on? Who am I talking to?
Snoop, what's up, Kay?
What's going on, my brother?
Man, I was just calling to let y'all know that I appreciate tonight's show, man. Y'all really hit me upside the head pretty hard.
Nah, man, thank you, man. That was the purpose, man. God is great. We appreciate you calling in, because if something that any one of us said that can help make a difference for you, man, then we did our job.
All of y'all, man.
Oh, man, thank you so much.
Appreciate tonight's show, all y'all, man.
Thank you so much. Call in anytime, man. Check us out every week.
All right, man.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, man, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, man. If anybody that's listening, y'all can meet us over at Main Street Lounge. We're going over there to support the homie Point Blank. He got an event over there tonight, so we going straight over there when we leave the radio station, man. So y'all more than welcome to come and get down with us. Couple of the things I want to announce real quick. The local organizing meeting at the Shape Center every Thursday at 7 o'clock. If y'all want to get involved in the community and be a positive influence and be the change that you want to see, come check us out. That's 3815 Live Oak. The next ARC meeting, next artist meeting is going to be July the 1st at Moss 45. And we're going to have a carnival at Moss 45 consisting of all of the socially active groups like No More Bloodshed, One Houston, One Hood, ARC, and that'll be June the 16th at 4443 Old Spanish Trail from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. So, y'all feel free to come and join those events and get involved in the community and let's save the hood, man. Quit making that money and leaving the hood, talking about I'm trying to get out the hood. Let's make that money and then bring it back and rebuild the hood and create jobs for our people and save the hood, man. That's what we're trying to do. So,
y'all don't be afraid to come, man. Whatever your religious perspective, just because it's at the mosque doesn't mean that we're trying to propagate or anything like that. We just want y'all to come out and support the movement.
Great point, man. Great point. It's only a building, man. It's only a headquarters. If you're looking at it from that perspective, then you're not really about the business of putting the work in. So that's what it is, man. So once again, man, we thank y'all for tuning in to K-Rino Radio, man. Every Friday at 11 p.m. Y'all are welcome to call in and join the conversation. We'll have some great guests coming up. Thanks for the love and peace. We out.